Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these super cute and adorable spring themed Cakesicles. To start, melt some white and blue candy melts in your microwave on half speed until they're fully melted. Then use about 1 to 2 tablespoons of that melted chocolate in order to fully coat your molds. As you could see, I filled 2 of them with the white chocolate and 2 of them with the blue. Now, as you could see, I forgot to add in the popsicle sticks after I fully coated my molds in that chocolate. So when I did add them in later on, after the chocolate had already set, it cracked the chocolate mold. So I highly recommend that you remember to place your popsicle sticks in while the chocolate is still wet in order to avoid that issue. While the chocolate was drying, I made my Cakesicle filling by combining some crumbled up cupcakes with some frosting until I got a wet but not sticky consistency. Then I filled my molds with this filling, leaving a little bit of room at the top in order to finish them off with some more white and blue melted chocolate. Once they're completely set, carefully take out your Cakesicle from the mold, trying not to touch the front with your fingers so you don't leave any fingerprints in the chocolate. If you do end up with some excess chocolate around your Cakesicle, you can easily remove this either with a warm knife or with your fingers. Now, in order to create a makeshift leaf tip, you want to place some green frosting in a piping bag, reinforce the bottom with some Scotch tape, and then cut a slit about 1/2 centimeter high. In order to make my flower pattern, I filled a piping bag fitting with a very small star tip with some pink frosting and then piped some rosettes in a diagonal line across the Cakesicle. And then I went back with that same piping bag in order to fill in those gaps. Then after I piped all of my flowers, I went back with my makeshift leaf tip and created some leaves coming out of the flowers all along the Cakesicle. For the second spring-themed Cakesicles, we're going to start out by making some chocolate butterflies, and I'm going to show you a really easy and simple technique to do so that I saw on my cupcake addiction. To start, you're going to rip a piece of parchment paper about 2.5 inches wide and then cut that into rectangles and fold each rectangle in half. Now, this next part may sound a little bit complicated, but it's really simple. All you're going to do is take some melted chocolate, pipe half of a butterfly on one side with a fold of parchment paper, then fold the parchment paper onto itself, covering the chocolate completely. Then use your fingers to smush the chocolate around until you get your desired butterfly shape, and then open it up to see your full butterfly. While your butterfly is hardening up, you want to leave it in between 2 objects so that the wings are slightly raised in order to give it more of a 3D look when it dries. For my second spring-themed Cakesicle design, I melted some more blue chocolate, placed that in a piping bag, cut off a really small tip, and then drizzled some of that chocolate along the top corner of my Cakesicle. Then I cover that melted chocolate with some gold and rainbow sprinkles. Once your drizzled blue chocolate has set, you want to pipe 2 small lines of blue melted chocolate in order to hold up your butterfly to finish off the second Cakesicle look. And that's it. These are 2 adorable, easy, spring-themed Cakesicles that you can make at home. And I know that I touched on a lot of new and different techniques, so if you have any questions about any of the steps, feel free to leave them down below or DM me on my Instagram at @thedotbrickery.